2026 is not just another year, it's your turning point. This is the year you stop surviving and start building the life you've always imagined. No more excuses, no more waiting for the perfect moment. The time is now. If you commit to these 6 principles, your transformation will be unstoppable. In 2026, the most valuable investment you can make is in mastering one high-income skill. Not 10 different things, not chasing every trend that flashes across your screen, but committing yourself to becoming world-class in one area that pays, that solves real problems, and that can't easily be replaced. The truth is, money flows to those who can deliver results at a level that others cannot. If you're average, you get average pay. If you're exceptional, the world will seek you out, pay your price, and respect your time. The difference between the person barely making ends meet and the person living in complete financial freedom often comes down to one thing: how valuable their skill is in the marketplace. When you choose a high-income skill, you're not just learning something to pass the time. You're building an asset that can feed you, shelter you, and give you freedom for decades. Skills like copywriting, coding, digital marketing, investing, high-ticket sales, public speaking, brand building, or specialized consulting can create income streams that outperform any regular job. But here's the catch: you can't dabble. Dabblers don't dominate. You need to decide, this is my lane, and then immerse yourself so deeply in it that you operate at a level where competition disappears. Think about the people you admire who earn more in 1 month than others make in a year. They're not necessarily the smartest or the most talented in every area of life, but in their chosen craft they are unstoppable. They know more, practice more, and execute better than 99% of the population. They're not looking for shortcuts because their mastery is the shortcut. Once you are at the top of your field, you no longer chase opportunities. Opportunities chase you. The process of mastering one high-income skill requires discipline. You need to study daily, practice deliberately, and constantly seek feedback. Read books, take courses, work with mentors, and most importantly, apply what you learn. It's not enough to know something in theory. You must turn knowledge into results. You will face frustration. There will be days when you question whether it's worth it. That's when most people quit. And that's exactly why you must keep going. The quitting point for others is your growth point. By focusing on one high-income skill, you also create leverage. Leverage is what allows you to multiply your income without multiplying your hours. If you master sales, you can close bigger deals in less time. If you master coding, you can build solutions once and sell them infinitely. If you master public speaking, you can reach thousands in a single session. The right skill doesn't just pay you once. It keeps paying you again and again. Don't fall for the trap of thinking you need a formal degree or years of traditional education to learn a high-income skill. The world has changed. Today, you can access the same knowledge as experts for a fraction of the cost and in a fraction of the time. But access alone won't make you rich. Execution will. Learn something, implement it immediately, refine your process, and then repeat. In 2026, you must see yourself as a brand and your skill as your product. The better your product, the higher your value in the marketplace. Stop comparing yourself to people who do nothing but consume entertainment and gossip. While they waste time, you are sharpening a skill that will put you in a different financial reality. It's not about working harder than everyone else. It's about working smarter on something that pays. When you master one high-income skill, you create a life where you choose who you work with, when you work, and how much you charge. You no longer live in fear of losing a job, because you are the job. The walking, breathing asset that companies, clients, and customers will compete to hire. This year, make the decision to master your craft, because once you do, freedom will no longer be a dream. It will be your reality. Creating a stream of passive income is not just about making money while you sleep. It's about reclaiming your time, your freedom, and your choices. In a world where most people are trapped in the cycle of trading hours for dollars, passive income becomes the ultimate escape route. It is the difference between working because you have to and working because you want to. When you build an asset that continues to generate revenue without your constant involvement, you gain the power to design your life instead of being forced into a routine you despise. Passive income is about planting seeds today that will bear fruit for years to come, ensuring that your financial well-being is not tied to how many hours you can stay awake or how much energy you can give to someone else's vision. The first step is to understand that passive income doesn't mean zero work. It requires effort, planning, and dedication up front. You put in the time now to build something that will later sustain itself. Think about it like constructing a machine. In the beginning, you are putting all the parts together, testing, adjusting, and refining. It takes energy and attention. But once that machine is built and running, it operates with minimal input from you, producing results over and over again. That's the essence of passive income. front-loading the work so you can reap the rewards continuously. Opportunities for passive income are everywhere if you train your mind to see them. It could be investing in rental properties that generate monthly cash flow, creating an online business that sells digital products 24/7, building a dividend-paying stock portfolio, or writing a book that continues to earn royalties long after you've finished it. The vehicle you choose matters less than your commitment to making it work. The key is scalability and sustainability. You want something that can grow without demanding all your time, and something that will continue to provide value even when you're not actively involved. The biggest advantage of passive income is leverage. When you rely solely on active income, your job, your freelancing, your services, your earning capacity is capped by your time and energy. But with passive income, your earnings are no longer tied to your presence. You can be traveling, resting, learning, or working on your next big project, while money continues to flow in from the systems you've built. This leverage is what allows the wealthy to become wealthier. Not because they work harder than everyone else, but because they've learned how to make their money work for them. However, building passive income requires a mindset shift. You must be willing to think long-term. Many people reject passive income opportunities because they want instant results. They want the reward today without the patience to wait for the payoff. But the reality is that true financial freedom is built brick by brick. It may take months or even years before your passive income streams reach a level where they can support your lifestyle. But once they do, you'll never look at money the same way again. Another truth about passive income is that it thrives on diversification. Relying on a single source, even if it's passive, can still leave you vulnerable. The goal is to create multiple streams that collectively secure your financial independence. This way, if one stream slows down or stops, the others continue to sustain you. Over time, these streams can compound, giving you more income than you ever imagined possible. Creating passive income is one of the most powerful moves you can make in your journey to wealth and freedom. It demands vision, patience, and consistent action, but the reward is life-changing. It gives you the ability to wake up in the morning knowing that your bills are paid, your future is secure, and your time is yours. And when your time is yours, you can truly live on your terms, pursuing passion, spending time with loved ones, and making an impact in ways that go far beyond a paycheck. Expanding your global mindset is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity in a world that is more connected than ever before. In 2026, opportunities are not limited by geography, and neither should your thinking be. A person with a global mindset understands that success is not confined to their hometown, their country, or even their continent. The most valuable opportunities often lie beyond familiar borders, waiting for those who have the vision to look further. This means learning to see the world as one large marketplace of ideas, skills, and possibilities. It means being open to working with people from different cultures, adapting to diverse ways of thinking, and embracing new trends before they reach your doorstep. When you think globally, you don't just wait for opportunities to come to you. You go out and find them anywhere they exist. A global mindset begins with awareness, the realization that your potential customers, partners, and collaborators may not live next door. The internet has removed so many barriers that used to keep people limited to local opportunities. Now you can learn from mentors in other countries, sell to customers on different continents, and form partnerships with people you may never meet in person. But awareness alone is not enough. You must actively seek to understand other cultures. You must learn how business is conducted in different regions, what values drive people's decisions, and how to communicate effectively with those who may see the world differently from you. This is not just about language skills. It is about empathy, respect, and adaptability. Expanding your global mindset also requires curiosity. It means taking an interest in what is happening outside your immediate environment. Pay attention to international markets, emerging industries, and cultural shifts in other parts of the world. The more you learn about global trends, the more you will see patterns that others miss. For example, a technology that becomes popular in Asia might soon explode in Europe or North America. A fashion trend in one part of the world could inspire a business idea in another. Those who are paying attention to the bigger picture can position themselves ahead of the curve and seize opportunities before they become mainstream. Another crucial element of a global mindset is flexibility. What works in one country might fail completely in another. Business strategies, marketing approaches, and even communication styles often need to be adapted to fit cultural expectations. Being rigid in your approach will limit your success, but being adaptable will allow you to thrive in diverse environments. This means being willing to learn from mistakes, listen to feedback from people with different perspectives, and adjust your strategy when necessary. Flexibility is not a weakness. It is a strength that allows you to stay relevant in an ever-changing world. Technology has made it easier than ever to connect globally, But mindset is still the most important factor. You could have all the tools in the world, video conferencing, translation software, global payment platforms, but without the willingness to think beyond your own small circle, those tools will mean nothing. You must first believe that your influence and opportunities can extend far beyond what you see every day. Once that belief is in place, technology becomes a bridge that connects you to those possibilities. A global mindset also challenges you to think about the bigger mission of your work. When you operate with a global perspective, your vision naturally expands. You begin to ask questions like, how can my product, service, or skill improve lives in other countries? Or, how can I create something that has universal value, regardless of culture or location? This way of thinking not only increases your potential reach, but also deepens the impact you can make. Your work stops being about survival and starts becoming about significance. Finally, developing a global mindset will demand courage. It is not easy to step into unfamiliar territory, to work with people whose customs you do not fully understand, or to enter markets where you might initially feel out of place. But courage grows through action. The more you interact with the global community, the more comfortable you will become navigating different environments. With each step, your confidence grows, and so does your influence. The world is vast, but it is also accessible to those who dare to embrace it. By thinking beyond borders and acting with a global vision, you position yourself not just to survive in the modern world, but to thrive in it. Discipline is the silent power that separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the ability to keep moving forward, even when every part of you wants to quit. Building unshakable discipline means training yourself to act based on your commitments, not your feelings. Feelings are temporary, they rise and fall with circumstances. Commitment is permanent. It is the anchor that keeps you grounded when life tests you. People often fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they lack the discipline to show up every single day, no matter what. Success is not built in moments of excitement. It is forged in the quiet hours when no one is watching, when you are tired, unmotivated, and tempted to take the easy way out. Discipline is the refusal to negotiate with excuses. When you make a promise to yourself, you must treat it as unbreakable. Most people break their own word before the world ever gets a chance to doubt them. If you tell yourself you will wake up at 5 a.m., you do it, even if you stayed up late. If you tell yourself you will go to the gym, you go, even if you are exhausted. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you build self-respect, and self-respect is the foundation of real confidence. On the other hand, every time you break your own word, you teach yourself that your promises are negotiable. That small weakness compounds over time until you no longer believe in yourself. Unshakable discipline comes from structure. You must design your days in a way that makes success unavoidable. Waiting for motivation is a trap because motivation is inconsistent. You need systems that force action regardless of mood. Create routines and habits that eliminate decision-making. If you wake up and have to decide whether or not to work out, you've already lost half the battle. But if it's automatic, the same time, the same process every single day, you remove the option of quitting. Discipline thrives in predictability. The truth is, discipline often feels boring. It is not glamorous to repeat the same actions day after day. But that's exactly why it works. Repetition builds mastery, and mastery builds results. The greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders are not chasing novelty, they are perfecting fundamentals. They are willing to be bored for the sake of greatness. The world is full of talented people who never fulfilled their potential because they only worked hard when it was exciting. Discipline ensures you work hard when it's not. Discipline also requires saying no, not just to distractions, but to good things that are not aligned with your main goal. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to your priorities. You must protect your time like a treasure. That means limiting social media, unnecessary conversations, and energy-draining habits. It also means surrounding yourself with people who respect your commitment and will not tempt you to break it. Environment shapes behavior, and the more disciplined your environment, the more disciplined you become. To build unshakable discipline, you must embrace discomfort. Growth never happens in comfort zones. Every time you push yourself to do something hard, you expand your capacity to endure. You stop being controlled by temporary emotions and start being guided by long-term vision. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes routine, and your standards rise naturally. This is how discipline compounds, small acts of consistency turning into massive achievements. In the end, discipline is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of inconsistency, the guilt of broken promises, and the regret of wasted time. It gives you control over your destiny because you are no longer at the mercy of fleeting emotions. When you have unshakable discipline, you no longer ask, "Can I do this?" You already know the answer. Yes, because you will show up and do it no matter what. That is how lives are transformed and legacies are built. Giving more than you take is not just a moral principle, it's a strategy for building a life of influence, trust, and abundance. The world has a natural law of reciprocity. When you consistently provide value without keeping score, you create a ripple effect that often comes back to you multiplied. People remember those who helped them without an agenda. They remember those who offered guidance, support, and resources without immediately asking for something in return. This approach not only builds a strong reputation but also attracts opportunities that money alone cannot buy. When you lead with value, you step into a rare category of individuals who are trusted, respected, and sought after in both personal and professional circles. When you focus on serving others, you shift from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance. Scarcity says, I must hold on to everything for myself, while abundance says, I have more than enough to give. This doesn't always mean giving money. It could be sharing your time, your expertise, your network, or even your encouragement. Sometimes, the most powerful gift you can offer someone is belief in their potential when they can't see it themselves. When you give without immediate expectation, you plant seeds that can grow into lifelong alliances, partnerships, and friendships. Over time, these relationships become the foundation of your success. One of the most underestimated benefits of giving is the way it sharpens your skills and deepens your understanding. Teaching someone what you know forces you to master it even more. Helping someone solve a problem exposes you to new perspectives. Supporting someone else's growth teaches you patience, empathy, and adaptability. In this way, giving becomes a form of self-improvement. By investing in others, you're also investing in yourself. In business, those who focus on adding value to their clients, customers, and colleagues often become industry leaders. Their influence grows because they are known as problem solvers and opportunity creators rather than self-serving operators. Of course, giving more than you take does not mean allowing yourself to be exploited. Healthy giving comes with boundaries. You are not obligated to drain yourself for others, nor should you sacrifice your core needs in the name of generosity. True giving is sustainable. It comes from a place of strength, not depletion. When you take care of yourself first, you are in a better position to help others effectively. Think of it like filling your own cup so it overflows into the lives of others. This way, your giving remains a source of joy rather than resentment. In a competitive world, many believe they must fight to get ahead, but the reality is that the most influential people often rise because they helped others succeed. When you assist others in achieving their goals, you often gain allies who are eager to see you win in return. This is how powerful networks are built, not through constant self-promotion, but through consistent acts of service. The more people who see you as a genuine giver, the more likely they are to connect you with opportunities, recommend you, and speak positively about you when you're not in the room. Ultimately, giving more than you take shapes your identity. It becomes who you are, not just what you do. You become the person people turn to for solutions, the one they trust to deliver, and the one they remember when big decisions are made. This doesn't just lead to professional growth, but also to a richer, more fulfilling life. When you reach a point where your value to others is greater than your need to constantly ask for something in return, you step into a level of influence and fulfillment that few ever experience. The truth is, life has a way of rewarding those who serve selflessly. It may not be immediate, but over the long run, the return on generosity is immeasurable. In 2026 and beyond, making this principle a core part of your life will not only elevate your success but also leave a legacy of trust, goodwill, and lasting impact. Most people spend their lives waiting. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect time, the perfect conditions. But the truth is, perfection is a trap. The perfect time does not exist, and every day you spend waiting is a day you can never get back. Acting now means understanding that the only moment you truly have is this one. It's about realizing that time is a resource that, once spent, cannot be replenished. When you put off your dreams, you give fear, doubt, and procrastination the power to dictate your future. The person who acts now, even with imperfect steps, will always be miles ahead of the one who waits endlessly for certainty. Life rewards movement, not hesitation. And the sooner you understand this, the faster you'll see progress. Action is not about having everything figured out before you begin. It's about trusting yourself enough to start, even if the path isn't entirely clear. Every great achievement in history was born from a first step taken without all the answers. The world belongs to those who dare to move forward when others freeze in place. Waiting may feel safe, but safety is often an illusion that hides missed opportunities. When you act, you create momentum, and momentum is the force that turns small beginnings into massive breakthroughs. Even if your first step feels small, it's still infinitely more powerful than standing still. The habit of delaying action is rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being ready. But here's the truth, you will never feel 100% ready, and that's okay. Readiness comes from doing, from learning in motion. Each day you hesitate, someone else with less talent but more courage is taking the opportunities you let pass by. Every second spent overthinking is a second someone else is building the life you dream of. Acting now is about taking ownership of your life and refusing to let fear control your destiny. The more you act, the more confidence you build. Confidence doesn't appear out of thin air. It grows from action, from seeing yourself make progress, even if it's not perfect. Every small win reinforces the belief that you are capable, and that belief fuels even bigger actions. When you wait, your mind becomes cluttered with doubts and what-ifs. But when you move, you prove to yourself that you can adapt, pivot, and overcome. Action dissolves fear, hesitation feeds it. Acting now doesn't mean acting recklessly. It means making the best possible decision with the information you have, and then moving forward decisively. It's about speed without losing direction, decisiveness without ignoring wisdom. The key is to avoid getting stuck in the planning phase for too long. Plans are important, but execution is what changes your life. An average plan executed today is far more valuable than a perfect plan you never start. The longer you wait, the more your dreams fade into someday, and someday often becomes never. Your future self is depending on the actions you take today. Imagine looking back a year from now. Will you be proud that you moved, that you tried, that you risked? Or will you regret the chances you didn't take? Life will never hand you the perfect moment, but it will give you countless opportunities disguised as challenges, risks, and uncertainties. Your job is to recognize them and act. The truth is, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not as wide as you think. It's often just one bold decision away. You will never regret starting. You will only regret waiting too long. Opportunities have an expiration date, and hesitation is the fastest way to let them slip away. The right time is not next month, next year, or when you feel ready. The right time is right now. Stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a thief that steals your potential. Your life will only change when your desire to act becomes stronger than your desire to stay comfortable. Take the leap, make the call, send the message. Start the project, whatever it is, start now. The sooner you move, the sooner your future begins to transform. The truth is, 2026 will not magically change your life just because the calendar flips. Change comes when you do. You now hold the blueprint, master a high-income skill, build streams of passive income, think globally, develop unshakable discipline, give more than you take, and take massive action without delay. These are not just ideas, they are lifelines. If you live by them daily, you will not just survive this year, you will dominate it. Remember, success does not come to those who wish for it. It comes to those who work for it, sacrifice for it, and refuse to quit until they get it. The choice is yours. Stay the same and repeat the past, or rise up and make 2026 the year your future self will thank you for. Whatever you decide, the clock has already started. Act now and the world will have no choice but to notice.